Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is John the Ninja live in the dojo, aka the dojo, aka the John the Ninja Studios. Concert number 21 had me seeing Megadeth, Suicidal Tendencies, Havoc with the Children of Bodom, and meeting a idol of mine, Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies. And the show made me one of the biggest Megadeth fans you'd ever see. Like me, playing this little tune from their song Tornado of Souls. So, let's start from the beginning. As you all know, I was a big Suicidal Tendencies fan, and Megadeth announced a tour with Suicidal Tendencies. Now, at the time, Slayer's ex-drummer Dave Lombardo just entered the band. He just joined, and I really, really wanted to see the band because I always wanted to see Dave Lombardo. Most people don't know he's Spanish. Really, casual fans don't know he's Spanish. So I was like, oh, I gotta see him with Suicidal Tendencies. This is gonna be so cool. It's gonna kick so much ass. Lord, let me see them. So me being a bright-eyed, young, new radio personality at 89.1 WYBF made it sound bigger than it was. I wanted an interview, and I didn't know how to go about getting it. So I saw an interview online, Mike Muir did, and I said, you know what? Let me see if I could ask the guy who interviewed him for the contact. Like, why not? Best piece of advice my dad ever gave me that has time and time again sent me to the stratosphere is if you want something from somebody, just send them a letter. I remember, I said I wanted to do a show with Tony Hawk. I wanted him to give me a lesson. He was like, well, write him a letter. I'm like, So, listening to my dad's advice, very fortunate that I did. Never wrote the letter to Tony Hawk, but writing the letter got me an internship at WMMR. Writing a letter got me to meet Mike Muir's Suicidal Tendencies. Writing a letter got me to meet Vince Carter. Writing letters works. Don't ever sleep on that. So thank you, Dad. That's one of the best pieces of advice you ever gave me. Just write a letter. And I remember other things too. Don't sleep on that, Dad. So I wrote a letter to the guy who actually interviewed Mike Muir, and I didn't hear back, so I gave him a phone call. And he was out in the Midwest. He was a reporter for a newspaper. So I called him. I was like, sir, how you doing? My name is John Johnson. I intern for a very prominent rock station, and I wanted to, know if I could have the info because I want to interview him, and I saw the interview I did with him. Would you mind sharing that info? He's like, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll shoot you that email. And he sent the contact, and I was like, wow, thank you so much. I'm not going to mention his name only because it's very vital that I don't to his career because a lot of these higher end musicians and publicists, PR, they don't want that shared with just anybody. You got to be somebody to get that information. So just for safety's sake, I'm going to say, sir, I know who you are. Thank you so much for that opportunity. It helped change my life, and I'm in your debt. Thank you so much. And the reason this means so much is because when I've tried that other times, I haven't ever received calls back. When I did speak to them, they blatantly ignored me, cut me off. I remember another fortunate thing I've done. I have Eminem's PR contact. And I remember I emailed a couple people about that. I was like, hey, man, if you just, here's a hint. They gave me very, very small hints to who it was. And fortunately, I was able to get in contact with him. I never heard back from them. But, it's just the fact that, the guy took a risk out of giving me the contact info. And that means the world to me because other contacts, like I almost got an interview with Cliff from AC/DC, and I just kept on, every time I was so close to getting that publicist's email, just cut off. Same thing with Eminem and other artists. So it just means the world to me. So I got it. I sent their manager an email, Lorenzo, and he's the greatest guy I've ever talked to via email. And I didn't hear back from them. I didn't hear anything. So I was like, okay, it's almost showtime. I bought my ticket. I'm going by myself. Nobody wants to go with me. I'm a little nerve-wracked. I don't know what to do. Mind you, this is the first time I've done any social event by myself. Okay? I'm 23 years old, and I'm still a kid. I'm 27 now. I actually remember my age at this point because I've been so stressed with life. I thought I was 28 for like 2 years ago. And I was just, okay, waited, nothing. Sent Megadeth management an email. Never heard back from them ever again after I told them like what station I was at, and it's just business. I'm not mad at her. Uh, so I'm waiting. I'm waiting. It's the night before. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do a show at 89.1, and I'm just gonna come home and I'll see the show tomorrow. So I do the show. I think I ended late. I ended really late, and I did a little bit of prep work. I wasn't really sure, so it's a weekend. I did a little studying, but after that I didn't hear nothing. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I did the show. It was probably 11 p.m., maybe 12 a.m. when I got back to my room. I'm checking my emails. I don't know why I'm checking my emails. Grace of God, I'm checking my emails. It's Suicidal Tendencies management. Hey John, sorry for the late response. We can fit you in for a interview. Sir, yes sir, please just give me the details. And they instantaneously shot me the details. Be here at this time, this is when it will be, etc., etc., etc. I instantaneously just started studying everything suicidal tendencies, started writing down questions. I was gonna be ready. There was no way I was gonna mess this up. I finally had an opportunity to meet Psycho Mike himself, Mike Muir. I was ready. Oh man, was I ready. I was listening to the music, I was typing all types of stuff, and I do believe I've had maybe one other interview other than this. I remember I did an interview for Ron Rosserman. And if you don't know him, he's very important in music. For MP3s, he met Jimmy Iovine. He was he pretty much wrote every single soundtrack to your childhood, probably. Like most notably, that kids would know him for, he's wrote the Power Ranger theme song and all the other songs. But he's worked on countless other music projects and etc. He was my first interview. Up until that point, I probably did Ron Rosserman and maybe one other person. I didn't have any other interviews under my belt, but I was ready. I was focused. So I spent most of the night working on an interview. I shaved it, made it perfect. Okay, got my sleep, and I texted a friend named Stefan, well, acquaintance, and he had a camera. He had a camera that was a Canon, and I asked him, "Hey man, I have an interview with a rock star. May I please borrow it?" He was very apprehensive of that. He was like, "John, this costs a lot, and do not break it, or I will kill you. You have my word, I will not break it for you." So he's like, okay, gave me the camera, made sure it was nice and safe, wrapped it up, even though it was in a bag already, wrapped it up, put it in my car, and now it's showtime. I got to figure out how to get there. So I got the GPS. I had a GPS. I printed instructions. Now, it's at the electric factory. It's something different now, but I printed the instructions. I had bottles of water. I was ready. I had my tickets. I was like, okay, God, please let this work. Let this go without a problem. So, I drive into Philadelphia. I'm in Chinatown, and I'm looking for parking. I don't know where to park. I park far as hell. If I knew anything about the electric factory, I would have parked there. I would have saved myself such a headache. But of course, my dumbass. If you know the area, the highway, you got the electric factory, you got some streets, you got the highway, and then you got some streets back going closer into Center City. My dumbass parks on the other side of the highway off the exit, and I didn't know any better. So, I truck all this distance, I get there, and the one thing I do remember specifically was Jeff Pogan. He's in Suicidal Tendencies now. He's their guitarist. He was part of the crew, and he was just the nicest dude. Him and another guy named Cage, who's actually the son of one of the members of Slipknot, treated me like gold. I emailed and I called him. He's like, yeah, man, we'll pick you up. And I'm outside in the front. They said, come around the back. So I'm at the back of the electric factory with the camera and my stuff. I got my phone ready. I got the camera. I don't know what to expect. I got my paper, for the interview. And, they take me back there. We're talking. We're having a good time. And I felt so at home with them. Such a great group of guys. And finally, it's my turn to speak to Psycho Mike. Now, he told me, he's like, hey, man, Mike's a little sick, so just, be on your A game. Just expect whatever. He's a nice dude. He's real chill. Just, you be you. So, I walk in. There he is. Psycho Mike. Mike Muir is one of the nicest guys I've ever met in person. He just like, hey, dude. I was like, sir, thank you for your time. I set up the camera, put the camera out, turned it on, and I turned my phone off just to make sure everything goes well. I was going to do a video for it, and hopefully the camera was safe. So I had my phone on, had the camera on, and I was like, hey, sir, I'm going to start the interview with you. I just want to say real quick. And that's where I started coming up with my quick a little sit through with them. Like, hey, listen, this interview is not to insult you. I just want to, highlight certain things. If anything makes you uncomfortable, please allow me to know. We'll skip it, blah, blah, blah. And this is what fucked me. The camera, the Canon, wouldn't turn on. It wouldn't turn on. And my phone was messing up. So I turned my phone off. Time is ticking. I got like 15 minutes with him, apparently. So 15 minutes. That's all I'm getting. The damn camera won't turn on. My phone is effing up, so I turn it on and off. Time is clicking. I'm like, God damn it. God, why now, Lord Jesus? So he's like, everything okay? Like, yeah. You know what? Let me turn the camera on. I'm pressing the button, the camera's not turning on. So I was like, yeah, we'll leave it there. It'll be fine. And then I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, let's start the interview. He's like, okay, all right. So, oh my God. I was so distraught. I did the intro, and my phone's not turning on. And then finally it turns on after the intro, because I remember specifically, did the intro, and he goes, "You're hired." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, that was really good, man. Thank you." I was like, "Yeah, man, thank you." God, why isn't this recording? Jesus Christ. So we're talking, and probably maybe the second question in, I was able to start recording on my phone. And we went from there, and just I was all inspired. I had some questions about his dad, some questions about Dave Lombardo joining the band, and it was just really cool to sit with him and talk, and be like the people you see on YouTube. Just talk to him and embrace it. And the best part, I love it. It's my favorite ID to this day. Afterwards, I was like, "Can I get an ID from you?" And he just had to keep on trying over and over again. He was messing up a little bit, but he was so comical and funny with it. He was so ready. He's like, "Hey, this is Mike Muir." So, all right, let's try it again. "Hey, this is Mike Muir." So, God. And I always use it before I go into a Suicidal Tendencies song. Like, I edited it a little bit, but what you're about to hear is him doing it and off the cuff, just being hilarious with it. It was one of the best feel-good moments of my life.
Yeah, yeah, you know that cough. This is Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies, and you're listening to John the Ninja on. I'll do it all again. Hey, this is Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies, and you're listening to John the Ninja on take 876.3576. This is Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies. Tired of getting electrocuted because I keep doing this wrong. You're listening to John the Ninja on 88. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to say.
You don't have to do it on the whole tape. You could just say 89.
Yeah. Hey, this is Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies. You see that rebellion? You tell me what to do, and I'm going to do it my way anyhow, even though I keep doing it wrong. Yes, still Mike Muir. Still frustrated. Still Suicidal Tendencies, and still listening to John the Ninja on 89.1 WYBF. Bing, 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 bing.
So after that, I was like, yes, thank you so much, sir. I even got to see Nico, one of their guitarists at the time. It was just, God, it was a great feel-good moment. And as I was leaving, I had to ask him because Ice-T's band Body Count just redid Suicidal Tendencies Institutionalized. So I asked him how he felt about that. I was like, "Oh, it was great." He called me about it first. I was like, "Oh, that's cool. You talked to Ice-T." So if I were to say anything, Mike Muir was a big inspiration. The biggest thing I got from him is if you want to do something, then you'll do it. There's no excuses. You'll see people's like, "Oh, I want to do this," but no buts. You go for it. Even if you fail, if you want to do something, you will try. So I always took that to heart. And man, after leaving, I was talking to Cage. I got an ID from him. I got an ID from Jeff. I can't find for some reason, but it was really cool. And he was like, "Yeah, man, you come back. I'll get you in early." So, really? Yeah, okay. I'm going to run to my car and I'm going to come right back. All right, cool. So I ran cross-country style all the way to my car. Made sure the camera was safe, closed it, locked it 3 times, ran all the way back, doors open. And I was like, "Hey, Jeff, I'm here." He's like, "All right, cool." He brings me in, but it's like a little too late now. There's a whole crowd of people. He's like, "Oh, you going to be good?" I was like, "Yeah, no problem, man. You know what? Just thank you." He's like, "All right, got you. So I'm there, I'm by myself, and I'm like, okay, I literally just had an interview with Mike Muir. I'm okay. I'm doing good. I'm going to see Megadeth. I'm going to see, Suicidal Tendencies again. I'll be fine. So Havoc came out, did their thing. Children of Bodom impressed me. They did their thing too. I didn't know these bands were there for so long and, had history behind them. But, of course, showtime happens. Suicidal Tendencies. with Dave Lombardo. Man, did it kick so much ass. I just speechless. And I remember cheering for Dave, like, happy birthday. I think it was his birthday. It might have been. Let me check. So it wasn't his birthday. But Dave Lombardo was there. I was cheering. I'm like, yeah, Dave, 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 Dave. He did a drum solo into Institutionalized, which was awesome. And, of course, the songs they always play, like, You Can't Bring Me Down. They played Subliminally, which is one of my favorite songs off their first album. And, of course, Pledge Your Allegiance, ST. Just, damn, such a solid set list. Just seeing them again, and Mike saw me, he's like, yeah, hey. I was like, yeah, you know, cheesing just like crazy, like you feel like you know the crew, and Jeff came out and even did the solo for the end for Pledge Your Allegiance. That was fun. Now, it's time for Megadeth. Rest in Peace is one of my, favorite albums from that band. I was ready to listen, I was ready to kick back and enjoy Megadeth. And they came out with Hangar 18. That's the one song I was like, oh, if they really played that, I'll be lucky to see that. And I was like, hey, okay. They started with Hangar 18. They went into The Threat Is Real because the new album Dystopia was kicking ass. They actually got a Grammy for it. Finally got the Grammy after so many tries. So I'm enjoying the show. I'm seeing Dave Mustaine is kicking some major ass. Slept on. Gets no credit. People say, oh, he's a great guitarist. No, he's a phenomenal guitarist. He might really, really, really put Kirk Hammett in place if they ever have a one-on-one, let's kick some ass and rip. Kirk, not going to take away. That man is precision personified. Dave Mustaine is just a force of nature. Good Lord. I was like, this guy's this good? How is he not, on the list of greatest guitarists, like top 10 for metal? This guy is killing it. And just watching the show, there's a few things that happened that stuck in my mind. First thing was first, like, I was in the back, and I got moshed to the front. Like, somebody pushed me to the barricade, and then I was, like, in the front. I was like... So that was a nice pleasure. There was a guy, I don't know what it was at the time. This is the second time I had somebody close to me take a really nasty hit. There was a guy that was next to me, bigger, fatter guy, and somebody just crowd surfed, bang, hit him in the head. Now, I don't know what's in the water at these Megadeth shows. Megadeth, to this day, I will say it to the day I die, unless something more brutal happens, has the most violent mosh pit I've ever been a part of, which in my mind blows the wind away. It does make sense, because their music to me was like, oh, this is thrash, but it's not like, it's not like Slayer thrash. No, don't get it twisted. Megadeth will kick your ass in that mosh pit, and that fat guy got nailed in the head by someone crowd surfing, like bang, so hard so that Dave Mustaine was looking in my direction because I was right next to him. He's like, hey buddy, you okay? Oh yeah, you took a pretty bad hit. Oh, you're okay? All right. I was like, hey man, he looked at you like that dude was fucked up. I think he left early too. They probably took him over the side. Another cool, upsetting thing was Dave Mustaine was playing. He was kicking ass, and he threw his pick. I wasn't paying attention, but he threw his pick. I saw that. All of a sudden, something bounced off my chest. Like, boom. Hit me in the chest, bounced back off. I was like, no. Oh! Dave Mustaine's pick literally flew, hit me in the chest, and then bounced off. And I was like, shit, I could have got a pick from Dave Mustaine. Fun. Good Lord. Oh, well. So... and they kept playing, and I just remember seeing Dystopia and Trust and Tornado of Souls, just being so impressed by Megadeth. Dave Ellefson is a great bass player, and luckily for me, at the end of the show, I was able to get a pick from him. I got a Dave Ellefson pick, which I'm not going to sleep on, but I also had another opportunity to get a Dave Mustaine pick. He threw the picks, I was able to get one in my hand, and I I won't even say very stupidly gave it away. My mindset was I already have a pick. Somebody else might really want this, and it might mean the world to them. If you reference back to when I was at, the MMRBQ and somebody almost died over a Slash pick, really dying, like, yes, I got one. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to spread the love. I've learned since my good friend Gwen told me like, if you get it, you keep it, so that's what I do now on. But I gave that pick away, and I wish I didn't, but it's okay. Hopefully that makes somebody else's day. And if you're watching this, I want you comment right down there. Let me know how you've been. So afterwards, there was a guy there named Tony who worked at MMR, and I was just an intern at the time. But I met him. I was like, "Hey man, I saw you at Slayer." He's like, "Yeah." I interviewed him at Slayer. I didn't even know. I was like, "Man, I saw you again. That was awesome. How'd you think of the show? Can I interview you?" He's like, "No, we're not doing that." I was like, "Ah." Now he is the nicest tall dude you ever met. He's a beanpole, but he's a good dude. So that was it. Megadeth came, and afterward, Dave came out after they played Holy Wars, Punishment Due. They played Peace Cells. They finished. He came back out without the band, and he was like, thank you all." Very appreciative. He bowed, and you gotta give it up to Megadeth. They kick a lot of ass, and this is when the drummer of Lamb of God was in the band, Chris Adler. So he was playing before Megadeth got their current drummer right now. He played on Dystopia. It was cool to see him from God, Lamb of God. It was great to see Kiko. It was great to see Dave Mustaine and Dave Evison. I didn't see a watered down version of Megadeth. They've had a lot of members come and go, but that was a very solid set. So having been a Megadeth fan, the only song I probably really wanted to see that wasn't on the set list was Public Enemy #1. But that's, considering the set list they gave us, not a bad show. Let's see what happened at that show. Because afterwards, I came back, I drove home, I was elated, I was so happy, I was high as the sky. I even returned the camera in one piece. And I was like, "Bro, let me know what you got from me." He's like, "I got nothing from it. Nothing recorded." But anyway, Children of Bodom. #1, Are You Done Yet? In Your Face is 2. Morgan, maybe 3. Silent Night, Bodom Night, 4. Sounds like a Christmas song. 5 was Hate Me. 6 was Worship Chaos. 7, Angels Don't Kill. 8, Downfall. Oh, I said the skinny singer had skills. Havoc, they did Point of No Return, No Amnesty, Claiming Certainty, DOA was 4. From the Cradle to the Grave was 5. Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death was 6. I Love No Matter What You Believe. Huh. I don't know what that means. Now on to Suicidal Tendencies with Dave Lombardo. Can't Bring Me Down was #1. Freedom was #2. Trip to the Brain. If you heard that song, you'll get what that is about. Institutionalized. Before that, the Dave Lombardo drum solo, and then Institutionalized. A lot of people were so happy because last time they came to Philly, they didn't play that. So, #5 was Subliminal. 6 was Psycho Visions. For some reason, I don't know why, I always heard the lyrics as Psycho Bitches. I see Psycho Bitches. So that's what I said. And then #7, Pledge Your Allegiance. Reading, because I write these things down. I started the Dave chant when they introduced him in the band. Mike met, loved every second. Nico saw me in the crowd, met him backstage. Okay. So now for Megadeth, they started with a tape of Prince of Darkness. Hangar 18 was #1. The Threat Is Real 2. Wake Up Dead 3. In My Darkest Hour 4. Post America World 5. 6 is Dawn Patrol. Ooh, I didn't even remember that one. 7, Poison Was the Cure. 8, She-Wolf. 9, Dystopia. 10, Sweating Bullets. 11, Trust. Oh, I saw Trust. Live. Damn. 12, Fatal Illusion. 13, Tornado of Souls. One of the hardest guitar bits I've ever learned. 14, Poison the Shadows. Symphony of Destruction. 15, one of the easiest songs I've ever learned. Except for that. Just like Roddy Piper. Anyway. 16, Peace Cells, and then 17, Holy Wars, Punishment Due. And as I said earlier, Dave came back out. Also, if you know Megadeth, and when they go down south, they have a little saying where they say something in Portuguese and then say Megadeth. I was just screaming Megadeth for Symphony of Destruction. But nonetheless, a great show. Felt great right after it. Just the first time by myself. And it was a great setup. The best thing about it was I posted the interview after working on it, and it made it to blabbermouth.com. And it had 700 views. And I was just high as the sky. Like, who shared this? Who put this out there? I don't know how it works, but it mentioned me talking to Dave about Dave Lombardo with Mike, and it was just, it felt like I was making it before I even, started hard work. Little did I know a lot of BS had to, come my way, and I had to really cut my teeth. But damn, first big interview, and that happened. I made it onto a national website, blabbermouth.com. That meant the world to me. Whoever shared that, thank you. So, like I said, that was a great first setup to what was coming my way. Concert number 22. First time seeing Iron Maiden. First time going to New York by myself, and the first time at Madison Square Garden. Trip for the ages. And it was a fantastic show. So, guys, did you see Suicidal Tendencies and Megadeth on this tour? Did you listen to my interview? And did you enjoy this video? Like, share, subscribe. As always, God bless you. I can't wait to see you for the next one. Till next time, I'm John the Ninja. Rock on.